Chapter 4, A Date with Danger. The morning after the potluck, you're woken up by the sound of hammering coming from outside. You sit up in confusion. Is that coming from outside my house? You stumble out of bed and peek out your window to see a familiar dreamy figure working on your front porch, his back to you. Charles. He turns around and the morning sun shines bright, like a spotlight on his hard physique and bulging biceps. He uses his arm to wipe a bead of sweat off of his forehead, his shirt lifting far enough to give you a glimpse of his six-pack. How does he look this irresistible first thing in the morning? You stare as he removes his shirt and tucks it into the waistband of his pants, letting you admire his torso in its full, broad glory. Phew. Okay, now he's just teasing me and my brain does not function at 100% before coffee. He grabs a bottle of water, tilts his head back, and pours it on his face to keep cool. You watch closely as it drips down to his chest. Your mind begins to travel to a naughty destination. You close your eyes and imagine Charles pouring the rest of the water over his body. Like what you see? You know I do. Then stop staring and come and get it. You open your eyes to see Charles staring up at your window. You quickly shut the curtains. What is happening to me? I didn't even know Charles a week ago. Now the simple sight of him drives me wild. All of Vermilion Lane has labeled him a killer, yet I can't seem to get enough of him. What does that say about me? You're probably one of those women that loves watching, I don't know, murder mystery things. I don't know. When did I get so thirsty? I've barely been awake 5 minutes, and yet here I am drooling over Oak Valley's person of interest. But whether I believe it or not doesn't change the fact that he is a suspect. I need to find a way to hear his side of the story. Charles wipes another bead of sweat off his brow, and as you admire the sunlight shining off his toned body, you get an idea. Looks like he could use some help cooling off. Charles glances up as you walk out to the front porch, a familiar sultry smile taking to his face as he takes in your sleepwear. Faith, I hope I didn't wake you. Not at all. Of the sounds of heavy hammering first thing in the morning. Sometimes I forget not everyone's an early riser like me. I wanted to get started before the heat became totally unbearable. Speaking of, I thought I'd return the beverage favor. I'm fresh out of strawberry lemonade, but I hope you like cold brew. You hand him the glass, and the chemistry between you is crackling. He takes hold of the coffee, fingers slowly brushing past yours. How sweet of you, and I see you remember to put clothes on before opening your front door this time. My free peep shows to Vermilion Lane or so yesterday. Hopefully private shows are still on the table. Private shows. Only if you're good. Let's say I'll give you one, if I'm happy with your fixes to my porch. In that case, I'll make sure it's my best work yet. Chuckling, he takes a sip, and you watch as the water droplets on his pecs catch the light and shimmer. Faith, do you mind? You blink and regain focus. He points to a napkin in your hand, and you brought out with the drink. Really? Hand him the napkin and wipe his chest for him. Sure, we'll hand him the napkin. Thanks. He takes the napkin with a smirk. He stares as he traces it down his pec abs and creating a straight line to his generous... Morning, neighbors! Oh, you ruin life, don't you? You turn to see Sadie approaching with twins Alicia and Allison behind her, reluctantly take a decent step back from Charles. These unexpected visits are becoming a habit. I see you decided to sleep in this morning. It's 7:15. 7:15 already? Oh, I did a double Peloton class this morning and it just threw off my whole day. Double Peloton, huh? Working off the potluck feast. I get my cardio in more creative ways. If you know what I mean. You know it'll make her simmer. You shaved your weight, hip knocking against Charles. Cheeky. I'm afraid I don't catch your drift. Yeah, it's because you're lonely. Anyway, Charles, it's so sweet you're trying to bring Faith's aging home to code and all. But it's gonna take more than just updating this dilapidated porch, right, girls? Front doors must be painted white, brown, or gray. All windows must be accompanied by fiberglass screens. Mailboxes may be no closer than 6 inches from the curb, with no further than 12, and front lawns may be no higher than 4 inches in height. You missed the backed-up rain gutters. Luckily, they're all on my to-do list. Aren't you the best? But it does make one wonder. She scans you slowly up and down, taking in your bare legs, rumpled sleep attire, and letting out a judgmental scoff. What sort of payment does Charles get out of this deal? None of your goddamn business. Sadie, you're more like Valerie every day. Look at you, already thriving on giving backhanded compliments, while someone, or like someone else's role, has been left wide open. But you're not even the head of HOA yet. Well, we'll leave you to it. You have quite a challenge ahead of you. With the last condescending look at your house, she whips around and walks off. Alice and Alicia scramble to keep up. You know, there is something you can do for me as payment. Charles, I offered to pay you. That's not what I mean. Have dinner with me tonight. Dinner? Is Charles asking me out on a date? Tonight? I'd love to. Great. Make sure you bring an appetite. You bet staying over at a friend's, so I'm just cooking for me and you. It'll be dinner for 2. You won't soon forget. Your smile fades as the meaning of you and him alone sinks in, colored by whispers about him you've heard. A dinner I won't soon forget. Is he flirting or plotting my demise? So, I'll see you tonight. Maybe dinner is the perfect opportunity to learn what happened to his wife. If I can clear his name, there'll be nothing left to hold me back. I wouldn't miss it. Later that night, you nervously sift through the clothing in your closet, catching up to in finding the perfect outfit. I need something that shows I'm interested without trying too hard, but also something that makes him feel safe enough to open up to me. Finally, you land on a sleek and sexy dress you'd forgotten you owned. The fabric slips over your fingers like liquid silk. On second thought, a little seduction can't hurt. You won't be able to dodge my questions if I'm wearing this. It's like she took a bed sheet and wrapped it around herself. That's it. That's all this dress is. This is the perfect outfit to keep Charles' attention on my body and distracted from my tough questions. Oh my god, look at me. Using sex appeal to get close enough to a man everyone says is dangerous. But one thought of Charles pounding away shirtless on your porch is enough to turn your butterflies from trepidatious to desiring. Why do I feel so excited? You walk up to the front steps of Charles' house. You reach for the doorbell, but stop short, suddenly feeling a pang of anxiety. What I find out tonight has the power to change everything. What if I'm not prepared for that? You take a moment to compose yourself and then ring the doorbell with a smile. Coming! That's what she said. His strong yet inviting voice sends your heart racing. Moments later, he opens the door, donning the charming grin you've come to expect. You're early. Dinner's still cooking. His eyes scan your body and he lets out a low whistle. What's that for? I was thinking that it's a shame I have to keep my eyes on the stove. You follow him inside and immediately pick up the intoxicating aroma of a sauce simmering in the kitchen. I'm getting tomato, garlic, and basil? Good nose, but you're missing one key ingredient. What's that? He suddenly turns to face you, expression mysterious, as he leans down to murmur against your ear. It's a family secret recipe. If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Oh. A shiver rips through you, but it's accompanied by a throb of arousal between your legs as he chuckles, breath rushing across your earlobe. Sorry, bad dad joke. The secret ingredient is 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Do you like spicy? You do like it, don't you? Oh. I love all things spicy. The spicier the better, in fact. Glad to hear our tastes align. Moves to the kitchen counter where he picks up a wickedly sharp knife and resumes expertly chopping vegetables. I don't think anyone's chopping vegetables with that knife, I'm just saying. Okay, so maybe I should be a little worried that he's this good with a knife that sharp. My God, there's something so hot about a man who knows his way around the kitchen, though. You bite your lip, finding the sight of a knife and its expert grip more thrilling by the moment you clear your throat. I'm no Martha Stewart, but I feel bad just standing here. Can I do anything to help? Would you mind taking what I've chopped, drizzling them in olive oil, and tossing them in a bowl? Sounds easy enough. Charles passes you the mixing bowl, but his hands linger along your fingers, interlock with his. He holds your gaze. Can I trust you? Trust? You tell me. I can't make your mind up for you. How you feel about me is in your court. Well, then I'll be honest. I'm glad I was able to lure you over tonight, but it'll be good as long as you are. A shiver runs through you as he lets your hands go and returns to chopping veggies. You take the one he's cut to the coffee table and toss them into the bowl. Am I doing it right? Almost perfect, but you could use more olive oil. Here, let me show you. He sits beside you and places the bottle of olive oil in your hand, putting his hand over yours, his palm shockingly warm. When it comes to cooking, there's no task too small. Every ingredient has a purpose. Every step has a rhyme and a reason. He practically purrs the words in your ears. He guides the bottle up over the bowl and tilts the nozzle down. You want to drizzle them with just enough oil to bring out the natural flavor. You guide your hand with deft movements, and you can't help glancing over at him, exchanging smiles when he catches your eyes. Cooking with Charles feels effortlessly and right. Sexy, and it would be so easy to just enjoy this date and avoid everything else. But I have to get to the bottom of what happened to his wife. You're such a good cook. Your wife must have loved your cooking. Did you and your wife cook together? Ooh, this one's a tough one. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't be bringing it up, but sure, let's... whatever. Your wife must have loved your cooking. His grip on your hand tightens for a second, but the next thing you know, he's taken the bottle from your grasp with a flirty smile. I'd much rather focus on what's happening here and now between you and me. Uh-oh. His words, coupled with the sensual feeling of his breath hitting your lips, sends butterflies traveling from your stomach up to your heart. I've invited you here tonight for a reason. I want to make this dinner about us. He takes your hand, thumbs brushing over your knuckles in a way that makes your legs weak. What? Christ. You lean in before playfully standing and pulling Charles to his feet. If you focus on me the whole time, dinner's never gonna get done. Raises a brow, clearly liking what he's hearing. Now I'm getting bossy, Faith, now? You better get used to it. You take the knife from the kitchen counter. Careful of the deadly tip, you can feel the warmth of his palm lingering on the wooden hilt. You're not the only one who can slice a vegetable or two. Mister's expression flashes in his eyes. It's sultry, desiring, and a little dark. I'd love to see what you can do. Grab a carrot and place it on the cutting board in front of you. The knife sears right through it and your eyes go wide. Wow, this thing's very deadly. How about I give you some handling tips? Only if you're careful. A knife this sharp, I'm scared of losing some fingers. His chuckle is low enough to send tingles through you, and his heady gaze holds yours. I wouldn't want anything to happen to your pretty fingers. Forget the knife skills for a second. It all starts with how you handle your produce. You have to show it affection. He sets the carrot aside and he takes hold of a cucumber. He keeps his hands around the base while placing your free hand over the tip. You have to get to know it. Do you feel that? You and Charles lock eyes as he slowly glides your hand down, your thumb registering the sleek texture. It's thick, smooth. His gaze becomes more intense as a slight smirk comes to his mouth. He guides your hand to the tip, and then slowly back down. Do you always have to be this gentle? You don't have to be, but if you aren't... Your gazes are still in sync, and you and Charles place the produce back on the cutting board. He takes your hand, still holding the knife, covering your fingers with his own, giving your hand a little squeeze around the hilt. You risk bruising the produce or worse. With his guidance, you bring the knife down in one swift and deadly slice. Oh. You jolt as a piece of the produce falls cleanly off and shiver as his thumb brushes your wrist. His breath puffs against your ear. Do you see what I mean? I'm getting very hungry. His hand runs up your arm, his callous touch eliciting a distinct tingle between your legs. A meal always tastes best after hard work. Charles moves the carrot back to the center of the cutting board and leans against the counter. What do you say we find out how much the student has picked up from the teacher? I didn't know there'd be a pop quiz. Don't worry, I'll be here the whole time. You tighten your grip on the knife, hold the carrot in place with your fingertips, and start chopping, still awe at the knife's sharpness. Better? He brings a slice of carrot to his lips, staring into your eyes as he bites off a piece. You wet your lips, watching intently. A satisfying bite, but just a little bit too thick. Maybe this will help. Charles moves behind you, wrapping his arms around your waist. You press your thighs together as tingling between them intensifies. Stand up straighter. He whispers the instruction in your ears. He presses into you from behind, helping guide your stance. You swallow thickly. Yes, sir. Think of the knife less as a tool, more of an extension of your body. It'll do whatever you want if you're comfortable holding it. His hand covers yours again, and he guides the knife through the carrot with a swift thwack of the cutting board. You instinctively jump and press further back into his chest. He chuckles, the sound vibrating against your back. Power, it's addictive, isn't it? It is addictive. But it's more addictive to give it up. Your breath catches as his grip tightens on your hand, his other hand traveling up your side to keep your posture straight. We all have to give in now and then. It's how we learn, and we usually find we enjoy it. The thunk of the knife slicing through the carrot is hypnotizing as Charles's heat against your back and his breath on your neck. Look. You glance down at where Charles's lead led your hand, and the two of you making perfectly practical, surgical-like slices. Your cuts are so precise. Does your carpentry skill help you? Both jobs require precision, but I consider cooking to be far more sensual. The smells, taste, texture of the ingredients. His voice trails off as the knife gets closer and closer to your fingers. You shiver in excitement and continue his thought. The distraction of cooking with someone else? He answers with a low hum, lips brushing the back of your neck. I have plenty of fond memories of sharing this kitchen. He presses into you from behind. You can feel something new and rousing, growing excitement coming from him. Your heart races. You feel caged by his embrace. It's thrilling and threatening, powerful yet more intense than previous encounters. His body feels like everything I always wanted. You gasp as he releases the knife to trail his fingers up your arm. Your fingers go limp, dropping the knife on the counter. Why not? You can't deny yourself any longer, and you roll your hips backward, biting your lip as you press firmly against his body. Faith. He says your name on a sharp inhale, his excitement swelling against you. You grind back against it with a moan. Yeah? But to your surprise, Charles' hands leave your body, and he diverts his attention to the sauce, leaving you wanting. After a moment, he turns back to you, face you, holding up a wooden spoon full of sauce. Here for a taste? I thought you'd never ask. He brings the sauce to your lips, and you take a sip, not breaking eye contact for a second as the flavors coat your tongue. Compliments to the sous chef. She was inspirational in the kitchen. She is quite special. Even more delicious than the sauce is the shiver that runs through you as his gaze sears into yours, his mouth just inches away. The second he looks at me with that much lust in his eyes, nothing else seems to matter. Hell, I can barely remember my name. Oh, God. You flash to a future of Charles cooking with you regularly, your activities in the kitchen frequently growing steamy. You in nothing but an apron, Charles naked as he takes you from behind, bending you over the kitchen island and caressing your ass. How do you like it? Lord help us. He gives it a smack that echoes sharply through the kitchen. You groan. Faith. Your breathing gets heavier and heavier as you lay your sweaty forehead on the cool countertop, spreading your legs wider. Faith, I'm talking to you. You look like you're a million miles away and never want to come back here to share why. Realizing how distracted you've become and how damp you are, you hastily cast around for a deflection. Could you point me to the bathroom? I didn't realize I got you so hot and bothered. Charles. I'm kidding. Upstairs and to the left. Thanks. You make a quick exit and take the stairs up. On the walls upstairs are a few paintings and some framed photos of Charles and Yvette. Nothing of his wife. That's strange. Maybe he just doesn't want to be reminded. You don't know their relationship. You don't know the story. You don't know shit, really. You open the last door in the hall and get a whiff of Charles' scent. The room decor has a mature, mysterious aesthetic to it. His own bedroom looks like a mystery, but there's gotta be something in here that belongs to his wife. You make your way inside, tiptoe around the room, keeping your eyes peeled. It's as forthcoming as Charles is. There's literally no trace of his wife ever existed. I should snoop through his dresser. Yeah, sure, whatever. You open the top drawer and your mouth gapes open when you see it's full of his underwear. Oh no! What am I doing? Who knows? You shake yourself and put the underwear back and shut the drawer. I'm snooping through a man's underwear drawer just because of a few rumors. Charles has treated me like a princess. There's no way he would have harmed his wife. You start to leave the room, but find your eyes drawn to his nightstand. You stop, feeling a bit conflicted. What the hell, it's worth a shot. You open the top drawer, you move some papers around before you stumble across a small bottle. You take out the half-empty bottle and read the label, realizing that it's heart medication, and it's prescribed to Iris King. It's gotta be his former wife. Your shock and horror mount as you read the label's warning. Side effects include nausea, lethargy, and heart attack. And the bottle's nearly empty. Did Charles really poison his own wife? Okay, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. You drop the bottle back into the drawer when Charles' steady voice speaks up behind you. Did you get lost on your way to the bathroom? Yes, she did, because she's being a nosy idiot. Remember that if you did enjoy the content, to like, share, and subscribe. Ding that bell so you receive notifications of when we upload content. Remember that 85% of you watching are not even subscribed. Please subscribe. Just a simple free button. That's it. Anyway, let me say the following. Leave some comments down below telling me your thoughts. I do apologize about being a few days late on this. Unfortunately, things happen, things arise, and the whole 9 yards. I'll just say this, right? So she has some pills, right? His wife, I'm assuming, that were heart related. I mean, let me put it this way. I'm literally an individual, okay, that takes medicine for breathing issues that can also induce breathing issues being more severe, okay? It is a side effect. Literally, if you guys know what I'm going through, right? The whole treatment thing and everything else. Literally. It's called a black label on the medicine, okay? It's called a black box thing. Not even kidding. Go look it up. Literally, there are warnings where people have had adverse reactions to taking certain things. There is a possibility. So, lethargy and all that, let's be honest, a lot of pharmaceuticals already have that, right? And then you've got other things that can induce what they're trying to treat. It's no shocker. So I don't know why we are so dumb. I mean, I guess if you've never taken anything in your life and you know no one who's taken anything in their life, that I guess you could be that complete ignorant, but yeah, I don't know. Thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.